Find the limit as x, y, and z go to 0 of y times z over x squared plus 4y squared plus 9z squared. Well, first of all, I want to do something with this notation because this can go crazy on us here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say let the vector x equal x, y, z. And I'm going to say let the 0 vector, obviously, equal 0, 0, 0. Simply defining it in 3 space. So now I'm going to rewrite this as I want to find the limit as x goes to 0. Of course, these are vectors. Of, y times z over x squared plus 4y squared plus 9z squared. See, that makes this notation a little bit easier to digest here. Well, clearly, if x, y, and z are all going to 0, I'm going to end up with 0 over 0, which is a problem. But individually, this is a polynomial and this is a polynomial. So once again, I can say that, let me call this f of x, y, z. So I can say that f of x, y, and z is in fact continuous for all x, y, z, and r, such that see, x squared plus 4y squared plus 9z squared is non-zero. Okay, it's time to play with this, kind of like we've done before, use the same sort of ideas. First of all, I'm going to break down several cases, and I'm going to consider the limit as this x vector goes to 0 of f of x 0, 0. So I'm letting y and z be 0, but I'm leaving x alone. Well, that is obviously equal to this limit as x goes to 0 of 0 over x squared, which equals 0. Okay, so now I'm going to do the exact same thing. This time I'm going to take a look at as x goes to 0 of f of, say, 0, y, 0. Basically, I'm keeping one of them while letting the others be 0. I'm holding the other two constant. And again, clearly this is going to have a 0 in the numerator. And I'm going to end up with a 4y squared in the denominator. So again, this is going to go to 0. So now if I take a look at the limit as this x vector goes to 0 of, of f of 0, 0, z, well, same sort of thing is going to happen. I'm going to put 0 over 9z squared because everything else could be 0. So again, I'm going to 0. So this is starting to look promising, as if this limit may be 0. So before I get too excited, I'm going to take a look at a couple more things here. I'm going to take a look at the limit as this x vector goes to 0 of f of, how about y. So I'm letting x, y, and z all equal y. When I do that, let's see, I'm going to have the limit as this vector goes to 0 of, these are all y, so I'm going to have y squared over, these are all y squared, so I'm going to have 9 plus 5, that's 14 y squared, which equals 1 over 14. Okay, therefore, the limit as we approach 0 of, I'm just going to write f of x, y, and z rather than writing the whole thing, doesn't exist because I found two paths that take me to two different limits.